point. The northern side of the room is Turkish, and it has a picture, an unsmiling picture of Atatürk on the wall. The south side of the room has an unsmiling picture of Khomeini on the wall. The baby is in a carriage. It is made up of steel pipes and a piece of canvas. And of course, nobody in the room knows that the steel pipe is stuffed full with money, because you need money to get across. And I remember clearly the mental bargain I was making with God at that moment. Get us across to Atatürk, and we will never, never ask you for anything else. We did get across. And I have, being frail and human, broken my promise many times. But when adversity strikes, as it always tends to do, then I make it a habit of revisiting that moment in my life and count all the blessings that I do have. Safe in Munich, we started to think, where now? Australia? Too far. The UK? Too colonial. India? Impossible. Germany? No permanence. So only two options presented themselves to us, the US and Canada. The US, Mehran and I decided, didn't really feature because we had lived in Iran the experience of American political interference. And so almost by default, we chose Canada. We had family and friends. We had heard of and admired your principal citizen, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. In school, many years ago in India, I had learned about the Hudson's Bay Company and completed a fascinating project about lumberjacks. That was the sum total of our knowledge about you. A charismatic man and a series of romantic, and as I later understood, outdated stories. To be fair, Canada, you knew even less about me. You will remember that our first introduction to each other was not happy. Your representatives in Bonn very quickly dismissed our interest in you and noted that we were not the kind of immigrants that Canada needed. But we knew people who knew other people in Ottawa. And so you summoned us back to Bonn for another interview. And the very same representative shook our hands warmly and said we were exactly the kind of immigrants that Canada needed and predicted a great future for us. No wonder we are filled with joy and excitement as we land. And I know in my bones that you and I, Canada, are going to be fast friends. So I am, in great anticipation, yours sincerely, Ratna Omidvar. The second letter is written 5 years later. It is winter of 1986. Dear Canada, we have lived here for close to 5 years. I am no romantic and expected an uphill battle, but not a mountain of hurdles. These have been hard years, filled too often with disappointments. At the same time, I have begun to understand you. And I'm hoping that you, in turn, are beginning to understand me. You promised me much, and you have given me much. I have no fear of persecution. I can speak my mind. I can join whichever political party I choose, although I'm surprised by the limited choice. I can live where I want to, I can associate with whom I want, and I can go about my life the way I want. It amazes me that schools, doctors, hospitals are free. 2 years ago, our first homegrown Canadian child, Yasmin, was born, and we brought her home from the hospital. But this time, no bullets, no soldiers in the corridors, and no bills. But there is much that we have found difficult to deal with. You have unwritten rules that we find hard to decipher. You have norms and practices that are difficult to understand. And there are invisible barriers that I must learn to navigate. But there is one constant. You are polite. You're always polite. You are so very polite that it is sometimes hard to understand whether it's politeness or indifference. When I meet members of your Canadian family, they say to me very nicely, "How nice to meet you. We must see each other again." It's only with time that I have learned to not take such offers not literally. Because of course, I want to say, yes, when, where? Because we are lonely and we need friends. And then I see the look of mild horror on their faces. In order to survive, I'm beginning to learn slowly the rules of engagement. I know now that it is not Canadian to be over-friendly or curious for fear of being taken as an intrusive busybody. I no longer ask someone when I meet them where they live, what they do, worse, how much they paid for their house or car, and absolutely a no-no what they earn. Nor do I stand too close to people for fear of infringing on their personal space. This is, to be frank, for me, an Indian, very strange territory. We have a very healthy interest and curiosity about other people. And in India, to be alone is to be lonely. There is a parallel life, though, that I am living with other immigrants who are my friends and who share our lives, and our conversations with them are very different. We've all said that there is one safe topic of conversation, and you can use it anywhere you go, and that is the weather. So we talk about ice flurries and black ice and snowstorms and ice storms. And I must say, I am amazed at the amount of gearing up you need with hats and mitts and gloves and earmuffs and winter coats and snowsuits. And I wish in Bonn, when you shook my hand, you had told me to be prepared for the winter. But I have also learned that after every winter comes spring and then summer. And just as your summers are glorious, I continue to hope that we will find our metaphorical summer as well, even as I shiver in your winter. I don't want you to get me wrong. People in Canada are kind. They are very kind. They look at me earnestly and ask me slowly, "Do you speak English?" I am stunned at my own reaction. Me, top of my class in English Lit, president of the university debating team, it dawns on me slowly that I'm just another brown face to them. There are other things that daunt me. Our search for work is far more difficult than anything that was suggested to us. Wherever we go, we are asked for magical dust that we cannot buy for love or money. Canadian work experience. We have become friends with many others, doctors, lawyers, engineers, scientists, who find themselves in the same quandary. We sit for hours in coffee houses trying to figure out what to do next. Many of our friends are working in factories or driving taxis. Others, like us, have sunk our life savings into small business, which we frankly don't know how to run. There is a look of despair on many people's faces. Some have left the group or simply disappeared from our lives. We have not been spared either. We have spent all our money trying to find work and keeping our heads above water. But I have received some interesting advice, and I'm pondering over it. It relates to my name, which is apparently very difficult to get your mind around.